I think a lot of the pressures that I faced at college were probably different to what most people face at college. So, for example, being very involved in things, especially Christian things. I was so excited to be around so many believers and be involved in my Christian union and in other Christian groups, and I just wanted to be in all of it. So I certainly had to just resist the temptation to be doing everything at once all the time and trying not to get burned out.
I mean, obviously a lot of the usual pressures of like how you actually live your life like socially and things, but I think one of the main things that arrived at college was with doing an English degree. I felt a lot of pressure in my tutorials to kind of conform to the point of view that like Christianity is sort of redundant or bigoted, or you know, it's in the past and it's not relevant, or that it's actually really relevant and like evil or like a force for bad. And so I actually found it hard in college not to succumb to the pressure to just be like, yeah, no, like Christianity doesn't mean anything anymore, or like it's really sexist. And I found it like kind of challenging and really fruitful in my faith to look into why I don't think that and like back it up without being weird.
Kind of the obvious things would be around fitting in terms of socially, and where you need to go, do you need to go to parties, do you need to be at the pub, do you need to be going to nightclubs, and there can be kind of pressures to do those things or to not do those things, and it can be hard to navigate that.
Maybe a particular temptation for me, and I'm sure for everyone, would be drinking in college, and drinking to excess in particular. And yeah, I suppose it's the done thing, and like it can be seen as a way to fit in, I suppose, and even if you're clear in your mind that you don't want to, it can be easy to get caught up in the moment. So yeah, that was definitely a big temptation for me, would be drinking to excess.
I think for me, having had a better routine maybe, and would have been helpful, and being able to say no to things, and knowing that I can say no to things, that I don't have to be expected to be at everything and involved in everything. And just being willing to commit myself to one or two things and know that God will use me in those areas, and be loyal to those, whether that's your church, leading your church youth group, or being in your Christian union, or a combination of different ministry opportunities, being committed to a few.
I think, I suppose in my personal journey, challenging myself more with other perspectives. I think I was beginning to do that towards the end of school, and college has really like forced me more into that, which is really good. Like, it's always really good, like Peter says, to have a reason all the time for the hope that you have, and I think that applies like not just in like personal evangelism, but like in everything, like in intellectual conversations and like anything else that you're doing. Like, you have to have a reason for what you believe.
I definitely look back and say I should have brought this issue or that issue to Christian friends more, and people in church more who were around me, older people who are just wiser, and they've been through it, and they can really offer great help and support and prayer, and point you to scripture, point you to examples that can help you in dealing with those pressures.
A thing that I tried to do is be clear in my mind where my boundaries are, clear ideas in your mind of how far is too far, I guess, or where your limit is, and sticking to that, and sort of just having that clear and set in your mind is a good place to start.